Hey, what's going on YouTube? Raven89 here, and today we are going to talk about something pretty personal. Today we're going to talk about my weight. my in general, basically my weight journey, basically the journey of me trying to lose weight and gain weight and some of the issues that it all stems from. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Hopefully it helps out some people. I'm going to give some tips as I go along. So let's go ahead and jump in and talk about the journey of weight loss. Let's go. So I'm overweight. Yeah, I mean, shocker, right? No, I'm just kidding. No, seriously, I am. So we're basically going to talk about my journey of, my weight gains and loss, and just my weight of just being, my journey of just being me with my weight. Now, the one thing I really want to stress is, we'll talk about that later. I want to stress about the one thing that I'm going to kind of drive home later at the end of the video is don't let your weight or your image identify you. Like, what you look like is not your identity. So we're going to come back to that later. So let's start from the beginning. As a little baby, I had asthma. So my mom was super overprotective. Had a lot of scares with my asthma attacks when I was a little baby. So my mom became super overprotective. And because of that, as I grew up, when I was like elementary school and things like that, when we're like the most active, I think, because my kids are crazy and they're not even in elementary school yet, and they run around like crazy. But my mom was super overprotective, and I don't blame my weight gain or weight loss or anything in regards to weight to my mom. It's just, if I were her, I probably would have done the same thing. I would have been safe than sorry in regards to my child's health. If asthma is the problem, then I'd rather be safe than sorry. So my mom kept me away from doing a lot of things, like a lot of activities, such as sports. I wasn't allowed to do sports. A lot of the time my mom wouldn't let me go out and play with kids. Like, I was allowed to video game because it's sitting down as whatever, but I was very rarely allowed to go outside to play when I was younger. I wasn't allowed to do sports, as I said, and like my mom would stop me from being able to go to like the zoo, for example. My class trip, second grade I think it was, they went to the Philadelphia Zoo for a class trip, and my mom wouldn't let me go because I'm also kind of allergic to cats and birds and stuff like that. So she's like, no, he's not going. His asthma is gonna kill him. I'm like, Mom, like today I would have been like, Mom, it's not gonna kill me, it's fine. But she didn't let me go, and I had to stay home from school that day because I wasn't allowed to go to the zoo. So there's like I said, I will never blame my mom for my weight or anything like that. It's not on her. It was just, she was protecting me, and no blame at all. The other thing too was, when I was younger, they were testing out a lot of asthma management prescriptions and things like that, and some of those are steroids, and it's one of the side effects on the steroid they had me on for a while, like a long time, probably like over a span of 3 years or something like that. That was like a chewable steroid. One of the side effects was weight gain, so I gained a lot of weight. I was in like third, fourth, fifth grade. I gained a lot of weight. So that's me as a kid, and I struggled through that pretty much once I got to sixth grade. Once I got to sixth grade, things started changing a little bit. Obviously, started like adulting or not, or like growing, or puberty, whatever you want to call it. As a teenager and growing up in middle school and like high school, I actually felt good. Like, I started to like grow a little bit taller. I was, not thinning out, but I was just like, it was evening out a little bit more, you know what I'm saying? And then like I met people that like to work out, so I started working out, you know what I mean? So we worked out a lot actually, back in like middle school, like all throughout middle school, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. I worked out a lot with my friends, and it was like a pastime that we did a lot. And I gained a lot of muscle mass and things like that. Even though I was still like eating like crap and still kind of fluffy, I had muscle to kind of like it was the undertone, but I was still always big. So even in my teenage years, I felt good, especially like freshman year, sophomore year, you know, junior year and senior year. I felt good. You know, I knew I was still big, but I felt good about myself. But on top of that, people always knew me as like, yo, Big Dave. You know, my first name is Dave, you know, whatever. So they'd be like, yo, Big Dave, what's going on, man? And I'm like, yo, what up, homie? And it kind of became like my identity at that time, you know, like my entire life ever since grade school, like elementary school, all the way up to middle school and high school, I was always known as like big, like everyone knew. And like when I was in gym class and everything like that, like in races, I was always picked last. You know, during baseball, always picked last. During soccer, always picked last. Like I was picked last in everything in sport and activity wise, because I was just slow. I was a big kid and I was slow. Like I would still run and do my best and stuff like that, but I was not moving as fast as other kids. And it's just that mass wasn't going to move as fast as the other like little skinny mini fifth graders. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. So but as a teenager and growing up and like even later teen years and things like that, I felt good. I was confident, you know. I knew I was big and I'm like, you know what, it's all right. I got personality. I make the girls laugh. It's all good. We got this. So that was all fine and dandy. Then, you know, I met Mrs. Raven, you know, swooped her off her feet. No, just kidding. You know, I met Mrs. Raven, you know, and we hit it off. And, you know, I think once I met Mrs. Raven and our dating life became like serious, like maybe like 2 years into the relationship or 1 year or whatever, I kind of classify myself as like a full adult. Like I had adult responsibilities and things before that, but I think having that adult relationship on top of my adult responsibilities really like I'm an adult now kind of thing. So as an adult, I gained a lot of weight, like a lot. Me and Mrs. Raven, we love eating food, and that's a lot of the time. A lot of our dates and us going out and hanging out, it involved food, and she ate and I ate, and it was a great time. I mean, it was amazing, but I gained a lot of weight. And then once we got married and things like that, we really let things go. Like, yeah, we try to eat healthy here and there and do like little diet fads and things like that there, but nothing was sustainable, and we just ate whatever we wanted, and I gained a lot of weight. And then once we started having our children, I was like, oh shit, I got changed something. My highest weight I've ever been at was 398 pounds, almost 400 pounds. I never hit the 400 pound mark, but I tell you, I was pretty close to hitting that 400 pound mark. And it's bad. 398 it's, and if you weigh 398 pounds, I'm not saying that you're in bad shape or you should lose weight or anything like that. I'm just saying my highest weight was 398, and I like did not feel good. My knees were always hurting. I was very minimal activity, I would get winded. Like I would go up a flight of steps one time and be like, God, like need my inhaler already kind of thing. I was in bad shape, and my daughters, my oldest daughter was really young, and I was just like, I needed to do this weight loss surgery. Like I need help kind of thing. So I went into the whole weight loss surgery process. Now, anyone, I can talk about this in a separate video if you guys are interested, but the weight loss process was really long, really strenuous. You go through a lot of hoops you have to earn your surgery. Like you're not just gonna pay someone to do a surgery. Like you gotta earn it. It's like that. So I went through all the hoops, did all the things. I did everything I needed to do. I was on a strict calorie diet to prove that I can, do it kind of thing. And I got the surgery. So I was like 2017, I think it was. 2017 is when I got my surgery. September 2017. And that surgery made me lose a lot of weight, man. I lost like 100 pounds in like a span of like 3 months. Not even. I lost a lot of weight really fast. and I was feeling good, dude. I felt really good. But where I failed, like the surgery didn't fail, I failed. And what I failed to do was, so with my surgery, it basically they cut out 75% of my stomach out. So I had a very small, like little itty bitty stomach. My problem was when I was gaining weight and eating and stuff is the quantity of how much I ate. And I was eating a lot before my surgery. Once I had my surgery, I lost a lot of weight, yes, and I wasn't eating very much at all. Like I was eating very little because I couldn't handle it. My stomach wasn't just big enough for it. But what happened was I ate bad things. Like I just ate trash. Like it was bad. Like I started eating just the stuff that I used to eat when I was big, except in smaller quantities, but my body was only taking in crap. So my body was just storing all this fat, and I started getting weight again. And that's kind of where I'm at now. I'm 3 years out of the surgery, and I've gained a crap load of weight again. I'm not as heavy as I was, I'm not to that point, but I regained a lot of pounds. And with the thing that's going on, the thing that happened in 2020, almost said it too. With that, like I gained weight with that too. So it's been pretty bad. So now I have a whole new different outlook on my weight. I accept who I am regardless of my weight. I know who I am. I don't identify with my weight. Like people can still call me like Big Dave or whatever, and I don't really care. It doesn't really bother me, but it's not my identity. Like my looks or the way I look or anything like that is not my identity. And one of the things that a lot of people struggle with and get really self-conscious about their image is that they identify with whatever flaws they think they have or what other people have pointed out that are maybe not even really be a flaw, and they take it as a flaw and they internalize it and they make it a part of who they are. So don't do that. Your image or what you look like or whatever, or what you sound like or whatever, is not who you are. You are a human being. You're beautiful. You're awesome. And don't ever let anyone tell you otherwise. So where am I at now? I am now on a keto diet. So it's a low carb diet. I used to do that before a while back, but this is a little bit different this time. My outlook of why I'm trying to lose weight is not for me anymore. I'm not trying to, like, yeah, I want to lose weight so my knees don't hurt, or like I can do more activities and things like that. But the bigger picture of why I want to lose weight is because I want to be able to hang out with my kids. I want to be able to run around with my kids and not have to be like, I have to sit down after like 10 minutes. Like I want to be able to live long enough to see as much as I can see of my children growing up into adulthood. And that's one of my fears, is like, if I don't control this now or do something about it now, it's going to be way too late later. Like in my family, we do have issues. Heart disease does run in my family, and that's one of my biggest fears. Like being overweight puts a lot of strain and a lot of pressure on your heart, and your heart has to work twice as hard, 3 times as hard, whatever the case may be, to pump blood through your blood vessels that are enclosed and constricted by fat. It's just what happens when you're overweight. So I'm looking at it differently now. I'm not trying to lose weight for my image. Yeah, it would be nice to look good and fit in clothes that I want to fit in. Yeah, sure. But I'm not doing it for that anymore. I'm not because my identity is not my looks are not my identity. I am who I am, and I just don't want to hurt physically anymore. I want to be able to like be with my children and run around with them and not have any problems. I want to be able to live to see their graduation or their weddings and things like that. I want to be around for that stuff. So, and the other thing is, so one tip is, if you're going to do some type of weight loss or self-image change or something like that, really internalize and think about what is your reason. Why are you doing it? Like, if it's just for cosmetics, I mean, that's fine. I'm not saying that's wrong, but you're beautiful. Like, if it makes you feel better, if that's what you want to do, go ahead and do it. But when it comes to weight things, what are you doing it for? Because the reason why that's so important is because when you start to get in the process of, I'm starting a diet, I'm gonna go to the gym, when you start to get into that mode, if you have the wrong reasoning or the wrong motivation to do it in the first place, later on when you start to feel the wear and tear of the routine of going to the gym and being tired and be like, I don't feel like going anymore, or I don't want to do it anymore, I'm over it, kind of thing, and then it just falls to the wayside and you just come back to where you were. But if you have a strong enough motivation and a reason of why you want to do something, then that is your motivation, and it will take you way longer, way further than you possibly could think. So that's my first tip. Second tip, accountability. If you can, have someone accountable for you or with you. Now, this time around, me and Mrs. Raven are both doing keto. Like, it's not me just on a diet. Like, it's not just me now. Like, now Mrs. Raven is in on it. So now I'm always asking her, because I'm a number guy, but she's like the food preparer and stuff like that. I suck at cooking, I don't cook, whatever. But she's the food preparer, but I'm the math person. So I'm like, hey babe, we can have this, this, and this, because it only equals out to this, amount of carbs, and we're trying to keep under this number. Like, let's do this. And she's like, okay. And she goes, makes it, and it's like awesome. So if you're going to do something like weight loss or something like that, have someone accountable with you. Even if they don't even do it with you, have them check on you like daily. Like, you need someone like daily, or someone like there with you to help you. It's even better if you can get someone to do it with you, but if you can't, have someone just watch you or check up on you. And tip number 3, and this is a big one, just because you mess up does not mean it's ruined, and does not mean it's an okay thing to give up. Do not give up. And this comes back to my first point, your motivation. Think about the reason why you're even doing it in the first place, and muster up that power and bring yourself to correct it and just move on. You can have a cheat day. Like, keto is not, you're not supposed to have a cheat day, because you're supposed to go through ketosis and all this kind of stuff. I could do this in a separate video, I'm not going to go through it now. But if you mess up, it's not the end of the world. You messed up that day. Doesn't mean that you have the rest of the week to do whatever you want. No. Keep yourself accountable, have someone accountable for you, and think about your motivator and why you're doing it in the first place. Why are you putting yourself through it? And once you can muster all that together, you're like, okay, I messed up, let's move on. And that's how you gotta look at it. So that's pretty much it. So I guess I'll do another update video in a couple months of me on this diet, and I don't know, we'll see how it goes. If you guys are more interested more in like a little bit more specific information about, weight loss surgery, or if you're more interested about I don't know, keto diet, I did an Atkins diet one time. If you guys want to know a little more about what ketosis is and things like that, let me know. Put it in the comment section below. I'll be happy to discuss that stuff. If you want a little bit more about my journey of weight loss and weight gain, things like that, leave it in the comment section. I'll be happy to talk about it, or I could do another follow-up video if you guys have more questions. So that's pretty much it. If you guys have not watched this week's video from Mrs. Raven, she talks about bullying, how her journey through bullying, and how to kind of combat bullying and how it affects people and things like that. Definitely check out that video. It was really, really good. Definitely check it out, and check out the other videos from last week. It was just all in the last couple weeks. We've been putting out some good content out there. Hopefully you guys like it. Leave comments, like the video if you do like it. If you don't like it, then just dislike it, and that's fine. Or even better if you guys could please subscribe. That would be freaking awesome. Follow us, and we would love to bring more content for you guys. And that's pretty much it. I'm out. Much dream and love. I'll catch y'all later. Peace out.